Hey guys, Frisian here. We got a 2010 4Flex SEL Ecoboost, and we are changing the rear turbo because it's smoking pretty bad. And we can confirm visually that it's a rear turbo because whenever it's on, right down the pipe is completely wet. So this is what's causing our problem. And for the front turbo, it's completely dry, so I don't suspect the turbo to be bad on the front side. So we're gonna replace the rear first and see if that solves our excessive smoke problem. Okay, so to access the rear turbo, it's back there. So we're gonna take just to facilitate things, we're going to remove the catalytic converter. We're going to remove the inner shaft. The turbo out, and it's leaking from the inside. It has a crack on it, so there's a lot of oil leaking out and back to the engine and also to the exhaust. So anyways, that's bad. We're going to replace it with the new one. And this is not the only way, but this is the way I like to do it, is to remove the inner shaft. Okay, for you to do this, you can remove the outer CV axle if you want. You don't have to remove the brake caliper, none of that. What you want to do is remove the lower control arm. Okay, so this one long bolt right here is 18, and two bolts on here holding this part of the control arm. The heads of the bolts are 15 and the top nuts are 18. Okay, doing so, you're gonna be able to move the whole knuckle back, and then you're gonna be able to remove the inner CV axle shaft. Okay, the CV axle shaft is held by two 13mm nuts, and then which would be this right here, and then the little bracket, it's also two 13 bolts. Okay, so once you remove that you want to remove the catalytic converter that goes right here, which is this one. At the bottom part of the catalytic converter, you're gonna have two 13s, and at the top you're gonna have three 15mm nuts. Okay, holding on to the turbo. So the turbo itself is right in this area. Okay, you got those three lines connected to the turbo. Okay, one at the bottom for the oil, these two right here are for the coolant. Those two are for the coolant, and the top one is the top line is this one. Okay, so you leave it on, but you remove it from the actual block. Okay, this is a 21mm, but there's plenty of space after you remove the inner shaft, and I just use a crescent wrench and it's gonna work just fine. At the top, you're gonna have a 8mm clamp holding onto this, and another 8mm clamp holding onto this. Okay, and so a tip will be, okay, you want to remove, so my tip for you will be, you're gonna have the turbo here. Okay, there's three bolts, you're gonna have to access them from the top. Okay, if you don't want to struggle as much, remove this one and this one first. Okay, this one you want to leave it last because that's the one that's gonna leave you less struggle to remove. Okay, so you're gonna have to access these three bolts from the top. Those are 13mm bolts. Okay, just remove those, and then the turbo is going to be loose. The turbo is going to be loose. Okay, And with these lines here, the turbo is not going to fall or anything. It's going to be in place, and you're going to have to play with it to remove the actual turbo out. Okay. Some people remove this line. I don't want to remove the line, so I don't want to, you know, mess up the seal that goes into the block. So I just leave it in place because it is possible to just leave it in place. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna bring the new turbo in, get it in place, put the new seals in place, and get it going. So from up here, what you need to remove is this section up here. You have a number 10 here, and then just remove these 2 clamps, and then there's another clamp right, let's see, right about there. Remove that clamp, this connector right here, and the clamp that's holding onto the turbo. Remove that, and then you're gonna have 3 heat shields. Okay, you're gonna have one section that's on top of the manifold, one section that's covering part of the turbo, and a small section that's connected, that's on the lower part of the turbo. Okay, so what you need to do is just loosen all of them. It's bolts like this, they're 8mm, so remove all of those, and then the section that's from here, just move it to the side. And this other section of the heat shield, you can take upwards. Okay, just, you know, struggle a little bit, but just take it out to the top. And you're likely gonna have this bracket that's holding on the back of the engine. Just remove it so you can make space. It's held by 2 10mm bolts, so no big deal. And so anyways, that's about it. Take all those things out, and like I said, my way is not the only way, but this is the way I like to do it, by removing this section first, just so I can take out the inner shaft, and then that makes a lot of room for me to take out the turbo through the bottom. It's not a lot of work at all, so it'll be just an extra, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, but I think it's worth it in my opinion. So anyways, so let's clean this out, put everything back together, and get it ready. So all right guys, see you on the next one.